This rich man is giving you his power of attorney because you don't know that he is your parent yet. You need to let him know today, or he'll give it all away. I want you to hear what I'm about to say, because it will break your heart in a way you didn't expect. There is a rich man who you have never met and who has been watching your life from afar, quietly giving you his power of attorney. Wait until the end. You're about to find something very big. He picked you not by chance, but because of a link you didn't know about. Also, what you hear now is more important than you think. Pay close attention. It's been years for this man to find the person who will carry on his story, legacy, and unfinished dream. He saw you go through fights you never talked about, nights you thought would break you, and come back from the dead when no one thought you would. The truth is more important than a paper or a signature, so don't skip. He is doing this because he knows that you have gone through life without him, which is the one thing he could have given you to ingrain this truth in your spirit. Type "My legacy is secured" in the comments. Before today comes, he wants to tell you something that will change the way you see your own destiny forever. Don't leave until the very end. The part you don't know yet is the most powerful. No, he didn't pick you out of kindness. He picked you because you don't know who he really is to you. A bond that's older than you can remember. A link that's stronger than blood. There's always been something inside you that feels unfinished, unexplained, or unspoken. This man has the missing piece. You're about to find something very big. Everything in your life will change the moment you hear it. You, my beloved child, need to stop everything and not skip this part because the truth is about to come out. His main goal was for you to hear what I'm about to say. You should stay until the end because there is a big surprise coming up. Something you've never known about your whole life. The rich man who is making the papers right now didn't just pick your name at random. He went around it. He said it quietly. He watched it. He also said something. Make sure they see this before today. Take this in. He knew what you were going through before you told him. The nights you prayed for a breakthrough. He knew. He knew when you were about to give up. And each time you made it out alive, he made another choice that helped you. Do not skip because it gets more shocking as we get closer to the truth. He's not giving away money. He is giving you his duty, his legacy, and the last part of a story that began long before you were born. That paper doesn't have your name on it by accident. It's there because you were supposed to finish what he started but failed to do. Wait until the end because this is the part that will make your heart stop for a second. Along with the transfer papers, he left a note, a message that is signed, sealed, and dated by hand. He tells you in that message why he picked you, why he waited so long, and why everything needs to be open before today. You're about to find something very big. Do not skip. Get the power of this due date. Below, write, "I am ready for the reveal." Don't blink because the next thing you'll learn will change everything you thought you knew about your past. Listen carefully, my dear child. Don't skip ahead. This is when the truth stops hints and starts showing itself. Wait until the end because the next line is the one he begged to be said exactly as it is. That message that was sealed wasn't written quickly. The man who wrote it had shaking hands and felt things he hadn't been able to say out loud for years. Now, every second you stay here brings you closer to the truth in your story that he couldn't say while he was alive. Don't skip this because there is a confession inside that envelope that will make you question who you are. He wrote about the day he saw you for the first time, not as a stranger or from afar, but as someone who saw a part of himself in you. He was strong enough to watch you smile, but he never was. He saw you go through storms that he never made it through. He also came to a conclusion. He wanted to help more than just you. People like you were the only ones he could trust with everything he had worked for, lost and hoped would be saved through you. Wait until the end because now comes the part, he said, should never be half told. He wrote, when they read this, they'll know who I really am to them. This person wasn't planning to move. He was getting ready for a truth reunion, a truth that ties his life to yours in a way you didn't expect. You're about to find something very big, and just a few seconds from now, you'll understand how much more deeply your name, destiny, and story are connected to him. Don't skip, my dear child. This is the part that pulls back the curtain, so don't skip it. Stay until the end, because every second after this has the weight of a secret he kept for a lifetime. He didn't use ink on the last line of his message. It was written with the pain of seeing you grow up for years, without knowing who was watching over you in the background. He wants you to finally see what he could never say before today. If he wrote that on the day he signed the power of attorney papers, don't skip it. He didn't even take a breath. He said your name out loud, then closed his eyes and said in a low voice, "They deserve what I never gave them." The truth. You didn't need help to make him pick you. His choice was made clear. Your life had all the same struggles, heartaches, and strengths as his own. He saw himself in how strong you were, how quiet you were, and how hard you fought. You had no choice. You had a destiny. You should wait until the end because he has a surprise for you. He said that you should only hear that one when your heart is calm enough to do so. He wrote, "Tell them I never left them. Tell them I was there before they even knew my name." This rich man who is setting up everything to help you didn't just happen to come into your story because you are linked to him in a way that goes beyond memory. He walked in. Something very big will happen as soon as you hear that last line, something that will change how you think about your past, who you are, and the future. Do not skip. Wait until the end. Don't skip, my dear child, because this is the time when everything changes. You should stay until the end because what you're about to hear is the truth that he fought for more than his money, his identity, or even his own reputation. He said this line would either break you or finally make your life make sense. You will miss the part that explains why he kept it a secret for so long. If you leave even a second early while writing the last page of his message, he took a long break. Don't skip it. The reason he didn't say anything was because he knew the truth would hit you like a storm. You've spent your whole life wondering why you felt disconnected from parts of your past, why some questions never had answers, and why some feelings were so deep that you couldn't explain them. He said he is now giving you the answer that makes sense of everything. Every picture, scar, and moment you didn't think anyone saw. Wait until the end because he didn't write the truth to shock you. It was written to set you free. They deserve to know who they really are to me. Were the last words he wrote on that page. That's why he's giving you everything. Not because he has to, or because he cares. Because your existence has a meaning in his story that you didn't know. And in the next part, the link between you and him will become so clear and strong that you will feel the ground move under your feet. Do not skip. You're about to find something very big. My beloved child, stay until the end. Don't skip this part because it explains everything you've been feeling. Did he think you might never be ready to hear what he had to say next? Stay until the end to find out. When he wrote the last part, his heart was shaking because he knew that once these words got to you, everything would change. You will miss the line that links your whole life to his quiet, hidden sacrifices if you scroll away now. He told you that every time you did something impossible, he felt it. So don't skip. He knew every time you cried in silence. When life threw you down, something inside him broke too. He didn't look at you like he wasn't there. His eyes were on you like he loved you before you even knew his name. That's why he kept telling the lawyers in a whisper, make sure they get this before today. He knew that this truth had to be told soon. It was a matter of destiny. Now comes the line he wrote with tears on the paper. So stay until the end. He told me that the link between us is not a coincidence. It's blood. It's true. They were never told this part of who they are. He is giving everything to you because you are part of his legacy. You're the part that's been missing. In the comments, you should admit the blood tie and write the connection is real. He kept telling his story until it got to you. And the next thing he tells you, the next truth you're about to hear, will finally show you who he really is. Do not skip. You're about to find something very big. Wait until the end. You need to confirm your activation. If you got this message and are ready to use your new identity to start the flow of God's favor right away and speed up your breakthrough, click the like button right now as a spirit. Right now, your simple yes opens the door to all the good things that are already waiting for you. Dear child, don't skip this, because he told you that it had to happen right now without any breaks or other things getting in the way. Do not stop reading until the end, because the truth he tells here is the most powerful, moving, and life-changing thing he has ever written. You'll miss the moment he worked for years to give you a clear view. If you scroll down now, don't skip, because he wrote that he thought about how you would react and wondered if your heart was finally ready as he practiced this truth for many nights. You've always felt lonely, like someone was missing from your story, he told her. He saw you look for answers in silence and act strong, even though you were weak on the inside. He told you behind your back, one day they'll know why I care so much. Every time you wiped your tears. Today is that day. Watch until the end. Because this is the line that made his handwriting shake. They were never left alone, he wrote. No one ever forgot about them. They never knew it, but they were always mine. He's not giving you power of attorney because he wants to be nice. He's telling you this because you know the most important thing about his life. He finally says the word he kept secret in the next part. The word that tells you everything you need to know about him. Do not skip. You're about to find something very big. My beloved child, stay until the end. He said that you should listen to this whole thing in one breath without blinking or scrolling away. Don't skip it. Stay until the end. Because what's coming up is the one line he guarded more fiercely than his money, his fame, or even his own legacy. This is the point that the whole thing has been building up to. If you leave now, you'll miss the truth that he has been waiting for all your life. Do not skip, because he wrote that whatever he gave up, whatever he chose to do without telling you, and everything he did away from you, wasn't because he forgot about you. It was to keep them safe. He kept an eye on your life from afar. Not because he didn't care, but because he did care so much that he was afraid being there would go against your destiny. Every single day he felt the weight of his absence. And with every breath, he wished he had been braver and taken the first step. Wait until the end, because this is the last page's secret line. He signed the line with his shaking hands. Tell them the truth, he wrote. Let them know that the bond they were looking for was always there. Let them know that I'm the one they were missing. Now, every heartbeat you feel is a step closer to the big reveal. What his secret identity is, what his secret connection is, and why everything needs to be clear before today. Do not skip. You're about to find something very big. My beloved child, stay until the end. Don't skip this part, because he said it would hit your soul hard. He carried the truth with him like a wound and a blessing at the same time. So stay until the end. This line brings the story to a close. This line will answer all of your questions and make things clear. It took him years or even decades to give you this secret. And if you scroll now, you will miss it. Don't skip, because he wrote that something inside him broke every time he saw you fight battles by yourself. If you were happy about a small win, he would proudly whisper your name. He didn't look at you like he wasn't there. The way he looked at you made you feel like he held you close to his heart. People would never get why he cared so much, he said. How he kept you safe in secret, and why he gave you his whole estate, his identity, and his last wishes. But he knew that you would understand when this message got to you one day. Wait until the end, because this is the line he saved for the last page. He said that the line should never be shown in part. They deserve to know the truth, he wrote. They should know that I'm more than just a rich guy. Their destiny is infused with my blood. After that one sentence, everything makes sense. Every choice, every sacrifice, and every moment that isn't seen. Now, the final surprise is just around the corner. The one that tells you exactly who he is and why everything in your life is supposed to change today. Do not skip. You're about to find something very big. My beloved child, stay until the end. Don't skip this part because it's when the revelation starts to take shape. Wait until the end because what he wrote here is why he watched you for years while feeling bad about things he did. Money, papers, or power have nothing to do with this. That he hid a truth so deeply that even he had trouble facing it. And you're about to hear the line he wanted you to feel right now. Not just this place. When you're not sure where certain parts of your story came from, don't skip because he wrote that you were strong, tough, and able to get back up when everything else was falling. Those were sounds of him. He told you that a part of him lived through you, even though he wasn't there with you. His pride grew with each victory you won. Every broken heart you felt had his silent apology inside it. He wasn't getting Clear's throat ready for a transfer. He was getting ready to make a confession that was full of destiny. Wait until the end because this is the line he highlighted twice. He said that the line would finally join the pieces you've had for a long time. Tell them that the answers they're looking for aren't outside, he wrote. They know the truth that I could never say. The last few layers are now coming off. No longer is the truth hidden. In one heartbeat, the revelation is standing right there, ready to tell you who he really is to you and why your name was chosen before you heard his. Do not skip. You're about to find something very big. My beloved child, stay until the end. Don't skip this part because it's when the truth finally starts to breathe. When he wrote these words, he put all the things he never said, all the things he hid, and all the things he wished he could have told you before life took you apart into different paths. You'll miss the chance he had to change everything for you if you scroll now. He wrote that your life has always been a mystery, so don't skip it. You couldn't explain those instincts, those feelings you had for no reason, those times when you felt like someone was guiding you, watching out for you, and pulling you out of situations where other people would have given up. There was no chance in what he said. He told you that someone was watching over you on purpose, not by accident. His choice. Whenever you were about to give up, he spoke words of strength into your spirit. And each time you rose again, he knew you were linked to him in a way that went beyond fate. Keep reading until the end, because this is the line he wrote for sure. Right away, without any doubt or second thoughts, he wrote, "Tell them I picked them not because I think they're lucky, but because I never told them they were mine." He let you understand everything you've been waiting to know with this one sentence. The last surprise is coming up soon. It's close enough to touch and strong enough to change your whole life. Do not skip. You're about to find something very big. My beloved child, stay until the end. Don't skip this step because it's when everything starts to fit together. He said that the next line would make your heart freeze, your mind race, and your whole life make sense, all at once. So, stay until the end. He guarded that sentence like a treasure because it told him the truth about who you really are. If you scroll down now, you'll miss it. He wrote that every time you felt a strange emptiness, a missing piece, a silent question that had no answer. Don't skip it. It wasn't just happen. It sounded like a bond you were never told about. He said that the strength he saw in you was the same as his own. He saw the pain you were in, which reminded him of the fights he had been in. He saw your bravery grow from the same fire that made him strong. You were not telling your story by yourself. You were living his life over again. That's why your name was picked not as a beneficiary, but as the one who should keep his truth safe. When he wrote this line, it was so clear that it broke years of silence. Stay until the end. He wrote, "Tell them I've never met them before. Tell them they were always the part of my life I lost and finally found again. All the things you've heard up to this point have led to this one truth. Take one step or one heartbeat to get there. The awakening that reveals why he picked you, why today is important, and how you are really connected to him. Do not skip. You're about to find something very big. My beloved child, stay until the end. This is the time when the truth comes out of the shadows and looks you in the soul. Don't skip it. You should stay until the end because the next line is the one he said you should feel in one breath. This is the part he wrote while his hands were shaking. If you knew these words, you would finally find the link that he had been hiding for all these years. You will miss the most powerful part of this message if you scroll down now. He told you that he didn't just watch your journey. So don't skip. He felt everything. He said that the first time he saw you, he knew right away who you were. Like a missing chapter coming back to its book. He told her that your spirit reminded him of someone he couldn't put his finger on. It was a connection that went beyond looks, blood, and even history. He didn't think of you as strange. He thought you were the only person who had ever made him feel like his life was still unfinished. Hold on until the end, because this is the line he saved for the very end. The line he spoke would get your heart ready for what's coming next. Tell them they were never chosen. He wrote, they were meant to be. After that, the last parts of the story start to come together. His true identity, your true identity, and the bond that connects your lives are now just seconds away, standing right in front of you, ready to tell you who he really is. Do not skip. You're about to find something very big. My beloved child, stay until the end. Don't skip this part because the truth you've been waiting for is about to hit you in the face. He said that this line should only be heard when your heart is still, your mind is open, and your spirit is ready to take on the weight of everything he carried in silence. So, stay until the end. He worked on this moment for years, and if you scroll now, it will end. He wrote that every time life put you in a bad spot, every time you felt alone, and every time you didn't understand why you were feeling a certain way, he felt it too. Those nights he held the signed papers in his hands and whispered your name. Not as a stranger or a beneficiary, but as someone whose life had shaped the most important parts of his own. He said there was one thing he often thought about. Will they ever forgive me for not telling them the truth? It was that question that kept him up more than any money or duty ever did. He put the line inside a box that was circled, underlined, and marked with the words, "Reveal this only when they are ready." So wait until the end. He wrote, "Tell them that their name is on everything because they have always had a piece of my soul." With this one confession, the big secret gets closer, louder, and clearer. The next revelation will take away all the doubts, veils, and pieces that are missing. Do not skip. You're about to find something very big. My beloved child, stay until the end. Wait, don't skip this part because it's almost time for him to tell the truth. Did you wait until the end? The words you're about to hear are the ones he rewrote over and over again because he was afraid of how they would touch your heart. He said this would either end years of silence or break him all over again. And if you scroll now, you'll miss the line that makes his story stand on its own. He wrote that every time he tried to run away from the truth, something pulled him back. Don't skip. Your smile, your bravery, your stubborn strength, and the way you never gave up. Even when life pushed you to the edge, he told you that you made him think of a promise he made a long time ago before you were born. Promise to come back, to tell, and to face the truth he had buried deep inside himself one day. And that promise burned in his heart every time he heard your name. Wait until the end, because this is the line he marked as the key to the final truth. He hid the truth behind regret, fear, and time. In the line he said would get your soul ready for it. He wrote, "Tell them I chose them because they are the one thing in my life I could never get back." Everything you felt, everything he wrote. And the whole story came together with those words. In the next part, he finally says the word he has been putting off. The word that tells you everything you need to know about him. Do not skip. You're about to find something very big. My beloved child, stay until the end. As you read this, the truth will begin to breathe right in front of you. Don't skip it. Make sure you stay until the end because the next words are the ones he said should be spoken with full attention, presence, and stillness. He stood guard over this line longer than any other in his life. You'll miss the way into the revelation that he built his last years around if you scroll down now. Don't skip because he wrote that every step you took, every win you had, and every heartbreak you lived through, all of it came back to him like a memory he had never lived, but knew he had. He told you that the bond between you two wasn't just a coincidence. Long before you knew his name, destiny had already shaped it. He saw you become the person he used to dream of becoming. He said in a whisper, "They are stronger than I ever was." Every time he saw you get through pain, he wrote these words every day because he was proud of them. Wait until the end. Now comes the line that he wrote slowly and painfully because he knew it would be the most honest thing he had written so far. He wrote, "Tell them I didn't pick them because I needed them, because they are the part of my life I lost, the part I searched for and the part I was afraid to claim. I chose them. Now the revelation is only one breath away. Seeing it more clearly and with more weight than ever before, the last word he's been afraid to say is in the next part. The truth about who he really is to you. Do not skip. You're about to find something very big. My beloved child, stay until the end. Do not skip this part because it is the point in the message where everything starts to shake with truth. Don't leave until the very end." The line you're about to hear was the last one he wrote. Then he erased and rewrote because it made him feel the most. If you scroll down now, you'll miss the very heartbeat of his surprise. As the years went by, he said that each one felt like a piece of his soul tearing away. Don't skip this part. He didn't want to be far away from you, but he saw your life go by in silence because he wasn't sure if he was ready to enter your world. He told me that you had a light that he didn't want to dim, a strength that he didn't want to break, and a destiny that he didn't want to mess with. But every time he wrote your name, it hurt like there was only one truth that could explain it. He could no longer hide one truth. This is the line he circled so many times that the ink ran off the page. Stay until the end. He said that the line he gave you must reach you without any breaks, hesitations, or loss of focus. He wrote, "Tell them that my legacy, my estate, and even my last breath belong to them because they are the one person I should have never been apart from." With that sentence, the truth is now just a few words away. You can already feel your heart beating faster because it's so close. There is one last raw, undeniable revelation in the next part. One word that tells you everything you need to know about him. Do not skip. You're about to find something very big. My beloved child, stay until the end. Share this message to show that you are committed to this new truth. The anointing will grow in your life as you send this prophetic word to 3 people who need a breakthrough. The edge of your destiny is where you are standing. You shouldn't walk this path by yourself. The prophetic promise that God has spoken over your bloodline is active now. Now is the time for your covenant. Before we continue with the conclusion of this powerful story, know this: you are not hearing this message by chance. You are chosen. This is the moment Archangel Michael calls you to shine brighter within a protected fellowship. Remember the spiritual truth. Your commitment here is the key to receiving an overflow of divine favor and increase. Gain immediate early access to content and be the first to walk in the revealed light. Don't let this moment pass. Join Archangel Michael's invite by checking our description, URL. Ensure you never miss the direct personalized word of the divine intended just for you. If you'd like to stay connected in more ways, you can find the link in the pinned comment and in the description. There's also a link to my Buy Me a Coffee page for anyone who wishes to support the work, but it's completely optional. Your presence, attention, and energy already means so much. As you read this, the truth gets so close that you can almost feel it breathing against your chest. Don't skip it. Wait until the end because this is where he says the line that he said would finally break the silence he had lived with for a lifetime. He guarded that sentence more fiercely than his wealth, his title, or even his very identity. If you scroll now, you'll lose it. He wrote that every time he saw your strength, he saw his own. Don't skip. He felt crushed every time he saw your pain. Fear kept him from telling you the truth every time he saw you doubt your worth. He said that the space between you two wasn't chosen. It had to be done because of life events, and a story he never had the guts to change. In his heart, he knew that one day fear would no longer be able to hide the truth. Today is that day. Wait until the end, because this is the line he wrote while his tears were still on the paper. You must say the line he told you to say, without pausing for any reason. He wrote, "Tell them that I could never leave them because they carry the part of me that I lost, the part that I loved, and the part that I felt I would never get back." With this confession, the last truth is right there at the edge, just a breath away. The one word he kept secret is in the next part, the secret he hid about himself, the truth that tells you for sure who he is. Do not skip. You're about to find something very big. Wait until the end. Don't skip this part, my dear child, because this is where the story you've been following finally breaks down. Wait until the end, because what you're about to hear is the truth that he kept hidden like a secret flame, shaking and burning until the right time to be seen. You will miss the one line he begged to be said with full emotion, focus, and presence. If you scroll down now, do not skip, because he wrote that being alone all day felt like a lie he couldn't stand. He told you that your laughter made him miss the happiness he used to have. Your strength made him think of how brave he used to be. Your heart made him think of all the things he should have loved, cared for, and never left behind. He said that destiny didn't just connect you two, because both of your stories began in the same place. It brought you together. Even though life tried to separate them every time he saw you rise, he knew the truth could no longer be kept secret. Wait until the end, because this is the line he marked as the big reveal. The phrase he said in a whisper as he signed the papers. The line that makes sense of everything. It has your name on it. The due date is today. The watching in silence, the silent bond. Tell them the truth. He wrote, "The truth I always held close to my heart. I know them well. They are the group I've always been a part of." With those words, the last revelation is just one breath away. The single name he hid is revealed in the next part. He never talked about the title, the link your heart has felt without knowing why. Do not skip. You're about to find something very big. My beloved child, stay until the end. Don't skip this part, because the truth is right in front of you, ready to hit you with all the things he never said. Wait until the end, because the next line is the one he guarded more closely than his fame, his name, and the life he lived without you. If you keep scrolling, you'll miss the moment when you fully understand everything. Don't skip it, because he wrote that every day he didn't say anything was a day when the weight of your absence crushed him. He told you that he saw you become stronger and smarter than he ever thought possible, and that he wished he could have grown up with you. That is not as a stranger or an outsider, but as someone who should have been a part of your story from the start. He felt guilty every time you were hurt. He was proud every time you shone. His heart shook with fear and hope every time he thought about the truth. Wait until the end. Because now comes the line he wrote while his soul was shaking. The line, he said, must not be broken by even a heartbeat of something else. He wrote, "Tell them that my legacy belongs to them, because they are the part of my life I never stopped looking for." The revelation is right on the edge with this sentence. Loud, rough, and unavoidable. The single identity he kept hidden behind every page will finally be revealed in the next part. The truth that tells you everything you need to know about him. What he really wanted you to know before today. Do not skip. You're about to find something very big. Wait until the end. I want you to stay here, my beloved child. This is the time when the truth finally reaches out to you. Don't leave until the very end. The words you're about to hear are the last ones he wrote while his heart was shaking. You will miss the line he said must reach you without breaking. If you scroll now, the soul of everything he hid, lost and wanted to give you is in this line. Do not skip. Because he wrote that being away from you for even a second left him with a hole that nothing could fill. He said that he saw your steps go through storms that he wished he could have been there for you. He saw you become someone with the same fire that he used to have. He could feel the truth burning in his chest every time he whispered your name in silence. It begged to be freed. It wasn't about money. It was not about papers. He carried this truth with him like a burden and a blessing. Wait until the end. Now comes the line that he wrote with all the weight of his life packed into one sentence. He didn't want you to hear that line until your heart was ready. He wrote, "Tell them that the connection they feel is real, as they are the part of my story I have always longed for. The truth is now just a breath away. Just one. The big reveal." He hid who he was behind every word. The truth that makes sense of the papers, the due date, the watching in silence, the silent bond. Everything is ready for the next part. Do not skip. You're about to find something very big. My beloved child, stay until the end. The truth comes out now like a heartbeat you've been hearing but not understanding. Don't skip this part. Wait until the end, because this is the sentence he said would wake you up in your soul. He fought hard to protect that one line more than any money he ever made. If you scroll now, you will lose it. Do not skip. Because he wrote that he felt proud every time he saw you get through something that life was trying to break you. It felt close to home. He said there was something about the way you lived, walked, talked, and laughed. He couldn't ignore something that made him think. He denied it and tried to hide it for years, telling himself that going along with this lie was the safest thing he could do. But as he watched you rise, he saw that the truth wasn't going away. It was getting louder and clearer, and you couldn't turn it off. Now comes the line he wrote with a breath so heavy it almost tore the paper. Stay until the end. He circled and underlined a line 3 times, then whispered it as if he were telling the wind himself his secret. He wrote, "Tell them that their existence feels connected to mine because they hold the part of my life I never wanted to lose." Now, for the last truth, there is only one step left until we find out who he was hiding behind every page and how every whisper, document, and tear he left on the paper relates to him. The next part tells you everything you need to know about him. The truth he wanted to come out before today. Do not skip. You're about to find something very big. My beloved child, stay until the end. This is the moment when the truth is so close that you can feel it shaking in your chest. Don't skip it. If you want to hear the line he said should only be said when your heart was seconds away from the revelation itself, you should stay until the end. He worked his whole life to make this moment happen. But if you scroll now, it will be over. Don't skip because he wrote that every memory you have, even the ones that are fuzzy, incomplete, or unfinished, always points to a person who is missing. He told her, "Your heart has always known there was someone important to you. Someone whose absence would have changed you as much as their presence would have. The bond between you wasn't built by time." He said, "It wasn't put together by chance. Life tried to hide it, but destiny kept pulling it back into place. It was constructed by something deeper, something unbreakable. He knew you would feel it before you heard it one day. Wait until the end, because now comes the line he sealed in an envelope with shaking hands. The line he spoke would finally make everything work. Your past, his silence, the fact that your name is on his final papers, and the fact that today is the day destiny finally came true. Tell them the truth their soul has been whispering for years," he wrote. "They're the only thing that holds my life together. Now the big reveal is just one breath away. The next part doesn't give any hints. It doesn't go around and around. He finally says the one name he kept hidden behind every page. Do not skip. You're about to find something very big. Wait until the end. Don't skip, my dear child, because this is the time. No longer does the truth hide in the dark. It is right there in front of you, shaking and waiting to be heard. Wait until the end, because the next line is the one he said should never be cut short, spoken quickly, or interrupted until you were ready to feel it in every part of your soul. You'll miss the main point of his whole message if you scroll down now. Don't skip, because he wrote that every tear you shed, every victory you won, and every moment you felt alone, he felt it inside him like a memory that wasn't his, but belonged to him completely. He said that there were nights when he held the signed papers in his hands and whispered your name with a pain that could only be explained by the truth. He said that the world didn't make the bond between you two before you even opened your eyes. It was there. He wasn't getting ready for a transfer. As he worked on his confession, it felt like both a wound and a gift to him. Keep reading until the end, because this is the line he wrote with his whole heart on it. He marked, circled, folded, and sealed that line with shaking hands, because he knew this was the moment when everything would change for you. He wrote, "Tell them that their name is on everything, because they are the one soul that my life has always been connected to." At this point, the last truth. The identity he hid behind silence, distance, and time is just one step away. In the next part, he finally says the word that he has been holding back in every message, line, and tear. Do not skip. You're about to find something very big. My beloved child, stay until the end. Don't skip this part, because the truth starts to burn through all the layers he put up to hide it. What he says here is the line he said you had to hear without blinking or being distracted. So stay until the end. If you leave now, you'll miss the sentence that makes his whole story make sense. Please don't skip this part, because he wrote that he felt the pull inside his spirit every time life had a test. He said that your strength was something he knew well, because it was like a part of his own soul. He felt every pain, every question, and every time you felt like something was missing, just like you did. He said destiny didn't put you together just to make things easier. It brought you together because the truth between you was always too strong to be hidden. He knew you would be ready to hear it one day. Wait until the end, because this is the line he wrote while taking the deepest breath of his life. The line he spoke would finally make everything work. You had to finish the papers by the due date and keep watching and being quiet while the bond kept pulling your lives back together. In his letter, he said, "Tell them that the reason I could never leave is that their life is ours." Now, the last identity, the truth he has been hiding the whole time, is right there at the edge, ready to be spoken in the next chapter. Do not skip. You're about to find something very big. Wait until the end.